Hello, my name is Douglas Bloch. Welcome to the Depression Recovery Channel, where each week we talk about practical tools and coping strategies for healing from depression and anxiety. Today is Flashback Friday, a feature in which I republish one of my earlier videos you might not have seen that contains really important coping strategies that will help you attain a better mood. Now here's today's video. Okay, well, the title of today's video is Can You Find Meaning in Your Suffering? But before we start, we have to have our regular joke. I went to the zoo and saw a baguette in a cage. The zookeeper said it was bred in captivity. All right. So I thought it was good too. Okay, so what is the title of today? Oh, yes. Can we find meaning in your suffering? I want to start off with a quotation from a person who I greatly admire, Viktor Frankl, survivor of the concentration camp, who wrote the classic books called A Man's Search for Meaning. His quote is, "To live is to suffer, to survive is to find meaning in the suffering." We all have suffering, right? Painful breakup, a financial loss, going into a major depressive episode. And most of the time we say, well, why is this happening to me? Or why is this happening? But if you keep saying that over and over again, it makes you feel like a victim. So a better question to ask is, what can I learn from this experience? Or can I find some meaning in this experience? Because human beings are experts at making meaning. And we'll see how we can do that in just a minute or two. In her book, classic book, Kitchen Table Wisdom, Rachel Naomi Remen, who's a physician, gave what I thought was the best definition of the purpose of life, or purpose in general, or the purpose of life. She said, the purpose of life is to grow in love and wisdom. I'll say it again. The purpose of life is to grow in love and wisdom. That covers about everything. So that means that all of our experiences, even the painful ones, we can learn something from it. I like what M. Scott Peck, the famous psychiatrist, said. All of our experiences in life are designed to make us more holy. So you see, there's a spiritual component to everything we go through, especially the things that are painful. I'd like to give you an example from my own life. During the winter of 1996-97, I suffered really bad, my worst depression. I wrote about it in my book, Healing from Depression. And when I finally emerged from this really horrible time, I found that the black cloud of depression had left unexpected gifts in its wake. And the first of these gifts was compassion. As a result of my ordeal, my empathy has deepened for all people who suffer, especially for those people who suffer from a mental illness. And as a result, I am less likely to judge other people. Having been in pain myself and seeing my own vulnerabilities, I'm less likely to judge others for theirs. For example, I might have said before my breakdown, oh, look at so-and-so, he's in that bad marriage. Why did he stay there or she stay there? Oh, look at so-and-so, he's addicted. Can't he, he's had his third relapse. What an idiot. Now I don't say that anymore when I see people suffering, even if they stumble once or twice or three times. What I say instead is, a friend, I know what it is like to be at the mercy of your demons. I bless you and pray that you too will find your way home. I am reminded of the words of the 19th century religious author Leon Bloy, who said, "There are places in the heart that do not yet exist. Suffering has to enter in for them to come to be." So if you're in the midst of a major depressive breakdown, a dark night of the soul, chronic illness, anything that causes you suffering, ask yourself, is there anything I'm learning right now through this suffering, anything I might be able to learn? If you can find that, it will make your pain more bearable. On the other hand, you may not be able to see anything of meaning in your suffering while you're in the middle of it. As a matter of fact, most of the times when we are in the pit, when we're in the abyss, we can't see that there's any purpose or meaning. It's impossible. It's only after we come out the other side. That's what I just mentioned right before in my example. After the depression left, I could say, aha, I'm now more compassionate. I'm now more loving as a result of this. In the middle, I just said, help, help, I want to get out of this place, right? However, if you ask yourself the question, is there any meaning here? Am I learning anything from this? You're more likely to attract it to yourself while you're in the episode and not have to wait till you get out. And you have to wait till you get out, that's okay, because I do believe, as Scott Peck said, that everything that happens to us is designed to make us more holy. And unfortunately, pain, at least at this point of human evolution, no gain, no pain. That's been my experience. But that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, because every great person who's accomplished anything of value had to go through their own dark night of the soul, and we are not exempt. One of my favorite examples of finding meaning in suffering comes from the great Dalai Lama, who said these words as he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Peace. I have improved with training and also through difficult experiences. In fact, in human life, difficult periods are the best periods to gain experience to shore up our determination. As a result of them, my mental status is much improved because of them. When we experience suffering, and some meaning comes from it or some good comes from it, there's a phrase I like. Martin Luther King Jr. Coined it. He called it redemptive suffering. And one of my favorite examples in history of redemptive suffering is a hero to me is Bill Wilson, Bill W., the founder of AA. He was a successful stockbroker. Unfortunately, his father was an alcoholic. He had it in his genes. He promised he wasn't going to drink, but he got his first drink after World War I, and he was hooked. He went in and out of episodes. He tried his best, to stay off the drink. He couldn't prevent himself. It ruined his marriage, his business, everything. And finally, he was so desperate, he didn't know what to do. And fortunately, he met this guy named Bob Smith in Akron, Ohio, and together they found that if they stayed up all night and just talked about their experiences of being drunk and all the things that happened to them, they stayed sober. And they realized, aha, a fellowship, two people coming together, sharing their pain, that's the key. And that's what happened. And on that day, June 1st, 1935, Alcoholics Anonymous was started. And so since then, it's mushroomed into millions of meetings, 12-step groups, and has helped tens of millions of people around the world. And there's a quote here I want to read to you. I don't know where I got it from, but it is really, really beautiful. It says that the meaning of Bill W.'s suffering is this: because of his pain, others would not have to suffer as much. Because of his pain, others would not have to suffer as much. And that to me is the good that can come out of difficult experiences. There's a famous quote by Nietzsche, most of us have heard, "What doesn't kill me makes me stronger." I would like to amend that to, "What doesn't kill me makes me wiser." You see that if we can learn from everything that happens to us, both pleasurable and painful, both good and bad, then we can fulfill Rachel Naomi Raymond's purpose of life, which is to grow in love and wisdom. This has been Douglas Bloch. I hope you found the information on this Flashback Friday video helpful. If so, please give it a like, as likes draw more and more people to this channel and hopefully some more subscribers. You can also leave your comments in the comments section or email me, douglasbloch@gmail.com. If you do want to subscribe to this channel, click on my photo in the closing credits. You'll be taken to my subscribe page. And if you click on the bell to the right, you'll be notified every time I do a new video or live chat. And if you want to contribute to this channel and become a patron, simply click on the Patreon image. You'll be taken to my crowdfunding site. And until next video, I wish you the best in your mental health recovery. Thank you so much.